Hello and welcome to the live commentary of Aston Villa against Everton in the Premier League to start off a double header here on LFS this afternoon. We're live from Villa Park as Aston Villa get their home season underway, looking to come back from opening day defeats. These two teams, Aston Villa beaten 5-1 on match day 1 by Newcastle at St James's Park, and Everton beaten at home on match day 1 at home to former manager Marco Silva's Fulham on match day 1. To the teams then, and Aston Villa's first home team is as follows. Emiliano Martinez is in goal. A back four of Matty Cash, Ezri Konsa, Pau Torres and Luca Digne, former Everton player. Boubakary Kamara and Douglas Luiz in midfield, with Moussa Diaby, John McGinn, Leon Bailey and Ollie Watkins in attack, with John McGinn holding the captain's armbands. For Everton, Jordan Pickford is in goal. A back four of Nathan Patterson, Michael Keane, James Tarkowski the captain, and Ashley Young, former Aston Villa player Ashley Young. A midfield four of Idrissa Gueye, Amadou Onana, James Garner and Alex Iwobi. Abdoulaye Doucouré in attacking midfield, with Dominic Calvert-Lewin the centre forward for Sean Dyche's side. Two sides that want to get their first points of the season, and a difficult place for Everton to come, with Villa winning all of the last four meetings between the two. Sean Dyche is looking to do something different with this Everton team and to get them their first points of the season. Villa, on the other hand, have a good record in this fixture, and especially against Everton at home in recent years, winning the last two fixtures here at Villa Park by an aggregate scoreline of 5-1. Kick-off at Villa Park is in just a moment. A very warm welcome to Aston Villa against Everton here on LFS on this Sunday afternoon in the Premier League. Game 1 of 2 of the afternoon as West Ham against Chelsea kicks off at around 4:30 for that one. And the players readying for kickoff, taking a quick drink beforehand, just on the sidelines there. And this will be an interesting game as to how both of these teams react to last week's defeat. Of course, Aston Villa quite a thumping defeat against Newcastle. Everton just that narrow defeat to Fulham. Of course, Fulham who lost yesterday at home to Brentford. So it'll be interesting to see how both teams react. Of course, I would say Villa have the better quality and are the home side, so maybe that will go in their favour. So it will be the home team that will get us underway for a brand new season here at Villa Park, a stadium that is drenched in history, and another season begins as the referee blows his whistle, and we are underway for another season at Villa Park. Anthony Taylor is our referee this afternoon. As Villa try and get a quick start, they move it down the right hand side. Here's Ollie Watkins. Watkins with the first move in and plays the ball right across the box. No Villa player there, but Luca Digne coming into the box hits it off Garner and wins a corner for Aston Villa inside around 15 seconds. Fantastic start from Villa there. Really quick move down the right hand side, and it was just a cross into the box from Ollie Watkins that evaded all the players in there, not a single Villa player there. And then the follow up from Luca Digne to win the corner. So corner from the left hand side for Villa. It's Douglas Luiz to take. Plays it right out to McGinn. McGinn on the edge of the box. McGinn flicks it in and takes a deflection. Will go out for another Aston Villa corner on the opposite side. See this again. It's Douglas Luiz with the corner straight out to John McGinn at the edge and flicks it into the box. And I think it might have been Onana that got ahead to it and headed it behind for a corner to Aston Villa. Leon Bailey to take this one. Another short corner. Here's Dyche with the cross. Nearly in there was Konsa. Falls to Diaby. Cash with the delivery. And it was a link up in there, but cleared away by Everton. Brought down by Garner. That's nice from James Garner. And the switch ball sends Alex Iwobi on his way down the left-hand side. Iwobi with a cross in. Cleared away by Konsa. And that will run out for an Everton throw. End-to-end start to the game. A few Villa set pieces, followed up by an Everton run. But it'll be interesting to see what way this game turns out. Will it be one of those end-to-end games, or will Villa just get control? That's what we're expecting, for Villa to have more of the possession. But here's Nathan Patterson. One back by Dyche. That's nice from Abdoulaye Doucouré. Garner. Back to Patterson as Everton look to recycle the ball here. At the back with Tarkowski. Out to Alex Iwobi on the left wing. Good skill by Iwobi, but he's lost the possession as Kamara looks to carry it away. Out to the right is Bailey. Infield to Douglas Luiz. Aston Villa just in possession at the moment. 3 minutes gone. 0-0. Aston Villa had a couple of early corners. Ultimately came to nothing, but a positive start for the home team. Diaby linking up with Bailey. Bailey gets it to Dyche. Or Cash. Cash to Konsa. Infield to Douglas Luiz. Back to Ezri Konsa. And now Pau Torres. Ball down the wing there from Everton. Had to be cleared away by Cash for the throw-in. And we've already had an early result in the Football League. Norwich beating Millwall by 3-1 at Carrow Road. Goals from Jonathan Rowe, Josh Sargent and Ashley Barnes for Norwich, before a late consolation for Millwall from Imaku. And that's ended up 3-1 there. Millwall have a dismal record against Norwich. Their last win against Norwich was back in August 2017. Norwich have avoided defeat since then, and that's continued today with their 3-1 win. And of course, just seen the result of the Women's World Cup final. Spain, the new world champions, beating England by that 1-0 in that one. The goal from Olga Carmona in the first half. As Kamara's pressured on the ball, back to Torres. Pressure on Martinez. Fires it clear. McGinn tries to take it down, but Garner's there to pick it up. And Gay recycles it to Tarkowski. Tarkowski looking to target the run of Garner. And the pressure on Luca Dyche will give Everton the throw-in as he heads it out of play. So Nathan Patterson to take this throw-in. Trying to link up with Garner. Garner on the right-hand side keeps the ball in play. Bit of a deflection into the box. Had to be cleared away by Torres. And Everton just can't keep it alive as Moussa Diaby tries to take it away. But winning it back for Everton is Onana. Ball over the top, looking for Calvert-Lewin, but that one will just run all the way through, and we'll go out for an Aston Villa goal kick. That'll be one interesting idea. Of course, Calvert-Lewin has a awful injury record at Everton, but they have to make the most of him while he is fit. While he is in the team, they have to try and target him as much as possible, Everton. Here's Pau Torres. Out wide to Dyche. Back to Torres. Torres trying to find that pass. Gets it out wide to Dyche again. Infield to Douglas Luiz in a bit of space. Back to Concert. Villa just taking their time, trying to figure out what Everton are trying to do and what way to work around it. Here's Leon Bailey. Kamara. Back to Cash. Has to go back to Concert. The pressure from Everton there. And Martinez on the ball. Torres. Dyche on the left. Back to Pau Torres. Not the best of slow passing from Villa. 71% possession so far. They're dominating the possession early on, Villa. Not that that means very much. Well, Everton's last win at Villa Park was back in 2016. Talked about that terrible record that Everton have at this stadium, but not only at this stadium, but against Villa. That was not only their last win again at Villa Park, but also their last win against Aston Villa outright. A 3-1 win back in 2016. Here's McGinn. Finds it to Watkins. Watkins in the box. Across, and the strike from the edge of the box from Moussa Diaby is fired well over the bar. No real threat for Jordan Pickford in the Everton goal. It's a breakaway. It's a nice run by John McGinn. Gets the ball out to the left for Ollie Watkins. Cuts it back for Moussa Diaby, and inside the D, Diaby just takes a strike with it. Leaning back, fires it over the bar. The ball from the back for Everton. Calvert-Lewin with the first header. Gets it to Doucouré. Doucouré tries to return the ball. It's blocked away by Konza. Doucouré picks it up again. Now goes for the cross. And it's out of the hands of Martinez, and he will get the free kick there. As Calvert-Lewin tried to head it out of Emi Martinez's hands. The referee instantly gives the free kick to Aston Villa. And both players are down here at the moment, so they'll get a bit of treatment after that collision. Well, how would we assess the start of this game? It's one of those, it's not the quickest of starts to the game in terms of attack. It's probably the best threat that Everton have had, that Doucouré cross to Calvert-Lewin. It's one of those ones where the keeper comes and collects it, and Calvert-Lewin, the momentum just carries him into Emi Martinez. Oh, Martinez is back up, and Calvert-Lewin is still getting treatment on the ground. That'll be the worry at the moment for Everton. We will see what comes of this in a moment. He is still receiving quite extensive treatment. Breathing quite heavily, as you can see there. Just trying to figure out if it's a head injury of some sort. Looks like it might be, because they're concentrating quite a lot on Calvert-Lewin's head and his face. There might need to be a change made here. We'll wait and see, because Neil Maupay is ready if the change is needed to be made. Maupay is ready to come on. He's just going to go out and warm up, Neil Maupay, just as a precaution, but Calvert-Lewin is back up and setting up now. It's a kind of bag of ice on his face. It looks like a cheek. His cheek that has made the contact with Emi Martinez. So he's back up. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Is he going to stay on. He still looks in a bit of pain. I think he will, and they will just obviously have to take him off, and he will come back on after 30 seconds, as is the new rule. I'm just seeing Sean Dyche here. Doesn't want to lose a star striker. And we are back underway then. After that, both players up and fine. It was one of those impact ones. Here's Konsa. Back to Martinez. Pressured by Doucouré. Luckily got out of that one. Find it to Douglas Luiz. Now to Pau Torres. Dyche has space down the left. Dyche puts it across. Gets it to McGinn. McGinn, nice through ball. Finds it to Diaby. Diaby on the edge. Back to Leon Bailey and tried to find Diaby again, but just misplaced it. Leon Bailey. Nice move by Villa. Now the pressure on Pickford as he fires it long. That's a nice first header from Onana. Cash wins the second ball, and Bailey under pressure from former teammate Ashley Young. We'll go back all the way to their goalkeeper, Emi Martinez. Torres. Lucadinha. Douglas Luiz with the ball up, targeting Ollie Watkins, but that's strong defending by Michael Keane. But it will run out of play. His pass, and that will be a throw-in on that left-hand side. Still 0-0, 13 minutes gone. We had a stoppage for about 2 or 3 minutes. A collision between Emi Martinez and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Both players up and fine. Here is Pau Torres. The ball to Diaby was just a bit overhit as Everton recover it with Idrissa Gueye. Now Iwobi on the left. Alex Iwobi up against Cash, and Cash wins the challenge, gets it to Bailey. Leon Bailey oversteps it, and that's well recovered by Ashley Young. Ashley Young breaking through, he's dragged back, and that will be a free kick to Everton. And a yellow card given out by Anthony Taylor to Douglas Luiz. So a yellow card for the Villa number 6. The referees very, very harsh on those yellow cards now. Not taking any stick, and that's his second yellow card of the season. He's been booked twice already. Booked in that defeat to Newcastle. Was already booked after 14 minutes here. Have to be very careful, Douglas Luiz. So Everton have a free kick then on the left hand side inside the Villa half. Need a good delivery. They've got height in there as the ball's fizzed to the back post. Onana's made the run and flicked it across, but there was a foul in there. Anthony Taylor spotted a free kick and has given Villa the advantage there. So free kick to Aston Villa. Free kick from Everton comes to absolutely nothing. Just see what the actual foul was. It was John McGinn. It was actually fouled by Doucouré. Here's Douglas Luiz. Finds Diaby. Now Bailey. Underlapping run of Cash. Back to Diaby. Kamara. Now on the right hand side is Leon Bailey. As Everton get bodies back. Cash trying to keep the attack going. Does so. Trying to break past and wins the throw in off Ashley Young. Matty Cash there. So a throw in to Villa on the right hand side. High up on that right wing for Aston Villa. Kamara takes it down from that throw in. There's good defending going on there as Ashley Young clears it away for Everton. And the ball's loose, and Pau Torres will pick it up inside his own half. Torres. to Konsa. Now to Matty Cash. Bailey. Cash again. One of those games, quite a slow tempo this game. Neither team looking for a fast-paced game so far. Villa having more of the possession, but not done much with it in 16 minutes. 2 shots, 1 off target and 1 blocked. No shots on target in the game yet. Everton haven't had a single shot yet, so we're lacking in the attacking areas early on. Douglas Luiz linking up nicely with Kamara. Luiz carries it forward, gets it to Diaby. Diaby on the run here, gets it to Bailey. Bailey in the box, goes to the byline, cuts it across, and McGinn! Well, they only need 1 shot on target to find the net, and Aston Villa have the lead. John McGinn, the captain. The cross from Leon Bailey cuts it back into the middle, and John McGinn on the 6-yard line to finish it into the top corner, and Aston Villa have the lead. Their first positive move of the game. They break it in between the lines. It all starts with Douglas Luiz, gets it to Diaby. Diaby finds the run of Leon Bailey on the right hand side. He gets to the byline, cuts it back, and John McGinn is just there to finish it. Everton have so many bodies in the box, but none could get in the way of that pass. And that's a fantastic cross, cut back, and a lovely first time finish by John McGinn. The captain for Aston Villa on the score sheet. I talked about the lack of attacking display, but 1 chance and 1 shot, and John McGinn has Villa ahead at Villa Park. It looks like Everton's dismal record in this fixture is going to continue. But it seemed far too easy. They broke through the lines and found the space for Moussa Diaby, who seems to be the player roaming between the Everton midfield and defence, and he's the one that's causing all the issues at the moment. And the midfielders finding Diaby, and he can spread it wide. Everton need to now find their rhythm, try and get back on level terms. Michael Keane with the ball over the top, but that will run out. Iwobi will pick it up. I thought it was going to go out of play, but Iwobi will pick it up on the left. Whips a ball in. Doucouré trying to go for it, and Calvert-Lewin couldn't gather it as Douglas Luiz clears it away. McGinn looks to fire Villa on the counter. Diaby. Here's Iwobi. Iwobi with a cross, and Luiz in there to try and defend it, and Garner with a header, which will be easily caught by Emi Martinez in the Villa goal. And there's a slight issue there for Ashley Young. Seemed in a bit of pain. The referee just checking if he's okay. He is okay to continue. Ashley Young, but it's a good challenge. There's after that John McGinn pass to try and fire Villa on the counter-attack. It was a really good challenge by Ashley Young to break it apart, to help his side defensively. And I mentioned it earlier, we have 2 players on the pitch today that have played for both clubs. Ashley Young has played for both Aston Villa and Everton now, and Luca Digne, who joined Aston Villa from Everton 2 seasons ago. Here's Cash. Konsa to Torres. Pau Torres linking up with Luca Digne. Now McGinn. John McGinn keeps the ball despite the Onana pressure, and McGinn will win his team a corner off Nathan Patterson. So corner to Villa on the left hand side. 20 minutes gone. 1-0 to Aston Villa. Scored by their captain John McGinn. And Douglas Luiz over to take this corner on the left hand side again for Aston Villa. to Luis to take. And the referee's just sorting out a few battles in the box there. It's Pau Torres and Onana. Decore is there as well there. Another short corner taken. Here's Luca Digne. Digne with a cross. Headed away. Cash to keep it alive. Cash with a left-footed ball in. Headed across and just passed. Cleared off the line. And is it a goal? Something given. I think they might have given a penalty here, Anthony Taylor. I'm confused at what's just happened because they've cleared it off the line, Everton. And then is there a penalty? I think there might be a penalty. A foul by Pickford on Watkins. I just see it again. It's Cash with the cross. It's headed on by Bailey. Watkins goes to try and win it. Pickford comes out to try and get the ball. Completely misses the ball. Takes out Watkins. Yeah, the left arm just outstretched by Pickford. And then it cleared off the line by Nathan Patterson. But I think he might have been given a penalty here. Ollie Watkins. Jordan Pickford trying to argue his case. Well, VAR just confirming that, making sure that all is correct here. VAR checking, and I think the check is complete. They were checking for a clear and obvious error from Anthony Taylor, but they've given the penalty, so Villa have a penalty. Jordan Pickford is given away, and Ollie Watkins has the chance to try and... Well, Ollie Watkins won the penalty. He's not going to take it. It's Douglas Luiz that's going to take it for Villa. So a chance for Villa to double their lead in this first half. Jordan Pickford committing the foul to give away the penalty. He'll now have a chance to try and recover that, but he's just been given a yellow card for time wasting here. Not getting on his line, so Pickford is in the book. Douglas Luiz makes a few steps back. The whistle goes. On the 18-yard line is Douglas Luiz, stepping up to take this penalty for Villa. Douglas Luiz, right-footed and into the corner. Lovely penalty by Douglas Luiz. And Aston Villa double their lead against Everton here this afternoon. Villa 2, Everton 0. Beautiful penalty by Luiz. And that's awful from Everton. A mountain to climb to try and get their way back into this one. It's a poor penalty to give away, and it's a lovely finish. It's a beautiful penalty by Douglas Luiz. Right into that far right corner. No chance for Jordan Pickford. He guesses the right way, but there's no way that Pickford is ever going to save that penalty. Absolute perfection. And Everton have crumbled. 2 chances for Villa, and both find the back of the net. And Everton find themselves 2 goals down. I was confused initially when the penalty was given as to what the referee had given, because Everton had the ball cleared off the line and he pointed to the spot after Jordan Pickford's foul on Ollie Watkins. Then Jordan Pickford went into the book as well. Was yellow carded for his time wasting in the lead up to the penalty. Well, 25 minutes gone, 2-0 to Aston Villa. Everton trying to get some sort of consolation as they break down the left, and will get the corner of Leon Bailey. Well, Villa, the last time, I'm trying to think of when they've scored. They've scored 3 goals on 1 occasion in the last 3 here. The corner's whipped in and caught easily by Emi Martinez. The question is, Everton in this position, do they just hold out and try and hold out to get it to 2-0 before half-time, or do they try and push for that goal back before half-time, keep themselves in the game? And on the 26th minute, applause of course around Villa Park after the loss of a member of the Everton family, one of those working on the Bramley Moor Dock Stadium building of the Everton Stadium. Lost his life, and we send our thoughts and prayers to his family and friends. The sad loss of another incredible person. Here's John McGinn. Gets it for Villa as they try and push forward again. Here's Leon Bailey on the run. Cuts back. Bailey. Douglas Luiz. Another chance. Strike by Moussa Diaby. Saved by Pickford. They're trying to work it. Just to think maybe Douglas Luiz could have had a shot at it. But Pickford had to make the save. Just see it. It's Leon Bailey charging down that right hand side. Chops back inside the box. Plays it across to Luiz, who just side foots it to Moussa Diaby, and Diaby strikes through it, but Jordan Pickford well matched to it. Lucadinha. Torres. Bit over hit to find Cash, but Cash keeps it in. Gets it to Bailey, and Bailey has to go back to his goalkeeper. Ball down the left hand side. Nice first time chest by Dyche, linking up with McGinn. Lucadinha in the box. Brought down. The referee waves away any penalty shouts and gives a goal kick. Lucadinha was nudged in the back there, but the referee deemed it not to be a foul by Nathan Patterson. See it again. It's Dyche trying to measure where the ball's going to land, and Patterson just edging him away. He's just defending there, Nathan Patterson. That's not a penalty. Good decision by the referee there to not give one of those, but a third goal here for Villa would surely, as of course it's still very, very early in the game, but it would surely put them in a very comfortable position and a strong position to get the 3 points here. Although still at 2-0, it's one of the most cliche phrases in football. 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline. Boubacar Kamara to Torres. Now Lucadinha. Infield to McGinn, linking up with Dyche again. Dyche on the left, couldn't keep the ball in play. That will run for an Everton throw. 29 minutes gone, Villa 2, Everton 0. The first goal scored by John McGinn. The cut back from Leon Bailey, and the lovely first time finish by McGinn, and then the second one, a foul by Jordan Pickford on Ollie Watkins, and penalty given, and Douglas Luiz converted that to make it 2-0 to the home side. Patterson with a throw in. Headed first time by Torres, but out of play again as Everton will get another throw. Well, Villa dominating, 68% possession. They've had 6 shots, 3 on target. Everton yet to have a shot on target from their 2 shots. Only 4 touches in Villa's box, Everton. So lacking in those attacking areas so far. Pickford. Out to Ashley Young on the left. Back to Jordan Pickford. Michael Keane. Keane to Patterson. Now Garner. Patterson again. Plays it infield, trying to find Garner again, but Villa quick to cut that one out. A poor ball by Douglas Luiz gives it an opportunity for Calvert-Lewin on it, but his cutback is also cleared away by Villa. 30 minutes gone, 2-0. Tarkowski under pressure there from Watkins, had to fire it back to his goalkeeper. Pickford. And that ball over the top is collected quite comfortably by Lucadinha. Now the ball out to the right is Matty Cash on the right hand side. Kamara. Cash. To Konsa. Kamara. Looking for Moussa Diaby through the lines again, but Everton closed that one down quite quickly. And picked up by Alex Iwobi on the left. Iwobi goes for the cross, but far too deep, and there's no one in the box there for Everton. Straight into the hands of Emi Martinez for Aston Villa. Well, they're hearing that Dominic Calvert-Lewin won't carry on for too much longer. So maybe they is feeling something. He's still holding his cheek from that earlier collision with Emi Martinez, so that hints that he's not comfortable. Ezri Konsa. Cash. Finds it to Diaby on the right hand side. Infield to Bailey, trying to get the 1-2. The give and go, but Moussa Diaby was just blocked off there as Everton win it back. Tarkovsky. To Michael Keane. Everton just trying to slow this game down. They need to try and get the ball forward. That's a lovely turn by Garner, and he's taken down by one of the Villa players. Luca Digne it was. Just see this again. Spins away from Luca Digne. Lovely from James Garner, and then Digne just takes him down, drags him back, and gives away the free kick. And Luca Digne's also gone into the book. His second yellow card of the season after just 2 games. Need to watch himself as well. Villa already thinking about possible suspensions in the near future. Here's Onana. Garner. Patterson. A bit heavy to find Onana, as that's won by Kamara. Finds it to Watkins. Watkins trying to run through, and recovering there was Patterson, and Michael Keane with the clearance. Digne wins it back. Lovely skill from McGinn. Gets it out to Luca Digne. Digne with a cross. Diaby! Oh! Somehow it didn't find the net. Jordan Pickford somehow scrambled it away. Moussa Diaby with a beautiful strike. It's John McGinn on the left hand side. The cross deep from Luca Digne right to the back post, and Diaby strikes right through it. Pickford saves onto his left post, and it bounces off the left post and goes right across the goal and behind for a corner. It's a very necessary needed save that from Pickford. Look at Douglas Luiz to take the corner. Fizzed across to the edge. Flicked in by McGinn to the back post. Just too much for Watkins. We'll run behind for a goal kick. Straight off the training ground, that corner. That set piece move. But that cross from Luca Digne is fantastic. And the connection on the ball from Moussa Diaby at the back post. The strike right through it on the volley. The save from Jordan Pickford is proper. It's a top class save, but they get a bit of luck there as well, Everton. Not only with the save, but the rebound of it. Kamara picks it up for Villa. Cash. Villa looking and searching for that third goal that would put them in a very commanding position before half time. Here's Torres. Digne. Back to Pau Torres. And Pau Torres, one of the new signings here at Villa Park, joined Aston Villa for £28.5 million in the summer. One that's been heavily talked about as a fantastic centre-back, was of course at Villarreal for since he was a youth player. Torres, a fantastic centre-back. Here's the ball out to Luca Digne on the left, on that left wing again. Another cross. Headed up into the air by Ashley Young, collected by Bailey. Bailey at the byline, just kept in by Leon Bailey. Cash. Diaby. Now Bailey. Back across to Diaby. Cash. Villa just holding the ball on the right hand side. Boubacar Kamara is just fouled there by Abdoulaye Doucouré, and that will be a free kick to Aston Villa. And I talked about Dominic Calvert-Lewin wouldn't last too much longer. It's right just under his right eye, on the cheekbone. Looks to be swelling a bit, so it looks like he will come off here. He won't continue. He is down, receiving some more treatment, but surely that will be the end of his afternoon. Could be checking for concussion. They probably are, the medical staff. They're making sure that there's nothing of that sort, but gives time for Sean Dyche to try and give his players some tactical information, try and keep them in the game. They've been totally overrun by Aston Villa in this first half. Just seeing the replay of the collision. Yeah, it's no one's fault, the collision. It's just both players trying to go for the ball, and the collision is a result of it. Well, the swelling, and that means that Dominic Calvert-Lewin's day is over, and it's just going to be a straight substitution, no concussion substitution, and it will be Arnat Danjuma that will be coming on loan at Everton. Danjuma from Villarreal went on loan to Spurs for half of last season, the latter half of last season. £2.5 million that loan was worth that Tottenham paid to Villarreal. At least just a straight loan for the full season here at Everton. Arnat Danjuma, the replacement for Calvert-Lewin. Maybe something that can give Everton a bright spark. And Douglas Luiz to take this free kick for Villa inside the Everton half. Luiz lofted over to the left hand side, brought down by Dyche, touched by Kamara, who has the ball here, to McGinn. Lovely skill again from McGinn, gets it to Dyche. Dyche with a first time cross and right across goal, and two Villa players couldn't find the net. And there's one down in the box. It's Ollie Watkins that's gone down. An injury issue, might have hurt himself in the process, but two Villa players inches away from finding the third goal for Villa. And that's that dangerous cross again, that deadly cross from Luca Dyche. Crosses have been so threatening. See it again, it's McGinn and gets it to Dyche. Dyche with the first time cross with the left foot. It's headed right across by Pau Torres, I think it is. Just see it again, it is Pau Torres. Heads it right across, and Ollie Watkins is at the back post. It's a free goal and tries to get the slightest of touches on it, completely evades him, and he ends up hitting the post. His body hitting the post, that is. Comes to nothing. Again, a huge opportunity for Villa to find that third goal. Third goal that would surely wrap it up and almost gift the game to Aston Villa and the 3 points. But so far, Everton still holding on. Somehow. Luca Dyche. Torres. Back to Emi Martinez. Konsa to Cash. Cash under pressure, but gets the ball down the line and headed straight out of play by James Tarkowski for a Villa throw. I'm sure Unai Emery will be much happier with this first half than he was last week. Douglas Luiz. Konsa on the halfway line. Gets it to Pau Torres. Torres, there's a few runners there for Villa, but Torres gives it out wide to Luca Dyche. Back to Torres. Villa just playing it around the back once again. Martinez. Taking his time on the ball, gets it to Kamara. Konsa to Kamara. Will carry it forward here. McGinn with not looking to waste any time, but the pass is incomplete. And Everton will get the free kick here, fouled by Bailey on an Everton player. I think it was Tarkowski. I talked about the link up of Moussa Diaby playing in between the lines, between that Everton defence and midfield. He's had the most successful final third passes in the match with 8, and Leon Bailey and Douglas Luiz on 7. Pickford to take the free kick, trying to target Patterson, but Dyche with the first header. McGinn there battling too, and it goes out of play off Douglas Luiz's challenge, and that'll be an Everton throw. It's actually a Villa throw. Don't forget more football to come. London derby here on LFS as West Ham host Chelsea, both drawing their opening game of the season last week. I'll be hoping to get to winning ways and to remain unbeaten as David Moyes comes up against Mauricio Pochettino. Great atmosphere at the London Stadium we'll be hoping to see, with West Ham, I'm sure, will be parading their European trophy. Leon Bailey keeps the possession. There was a run of Matty Cash down the right hand side. He didn't find that pass. Here's Luca Digne. Douglas Luiz battling with Doucouré, but Luiz keeps the possession. Torres, last 2 minutes of the half plus any additional time. Matty Cash. Cash looking for the ball over the top. Ollie Watkins has made the run through. Chested it down, but couldn't gather it as Tarkowski wins the ball back and clears it away. Now fires it over the top, looking for Danjuma to run. Danjuma holding off the challenge of Konsa for the moment. Danjuma gets the ball, keeps it and finds it to Doucouré. Garner. Patterson to Onana. Onana with a switch ball. The run from Ashley Young, taken down on that left. On the left flank, Ashley Young, can he find a delivery? Whips it in. Headed away by Digne. Headed on by Onana and into the hands of Emi Martinez. It's a bit better from Everton. But still not enough to get them a shot on target. Villa playing it out from the back here. Martinez under pressure. As Villa give away possession. Luckily not as high as Everton would have hoped. Back to Michael Keane. Keane with the ball over the top and trying to find the run of Nathan Patterson down the right hand side, but ball too much pace on that one for Patterson to gather, and that goes out for a goal kick to Villa. So Emi Martinez to take the goal kick as we are around last few seconds of the half. For we'll see there will be 9 additional minutes. Fourth officials put up the board and the number 9 is displayed, so we will have 9 additional minutes. So still a long way to go in this first half. Of course, due to the VAR check and of course the injury stoppage in this first half, so for a lot of minutes. Here's Danjuma, picks up the ball on the right, up against Torres. Danjuma plays it across. Patterson trying to link up with Danjuma. Danjuma's made the run, and Emi Martinez quick out from off his line to block the Danjuma chance and the shot. Puts it out for a corner, but that was a lovely ball by Nathan Patterson. Through the lines, it was perfect. Danjuma made the run, and Emi Martinez had to run off his line as quick as possible and did so. Put it out for the Everton corner. Second Everton corner of the match. Ashley Young to take on this right hand side. Chance for Everton. Get a consolation before the end of this first half. Young Right across, and Villa just about clear it. Back into the box, and James Tarkowski's header will just run for a goal kick. Again, comes to nothing. Emmanuel, commentator, remember me? Yes, I do. Emmanuel, welcome back into the chat. A few goal updates. Union Berlin are leading Mainz by 2-0 in the Bundesliga. Just 17 minutes played in that one. 2-0 up in that one. We have Scottish League Cup football at the moment. Just coming up to half time in two of those fixtures. Hearts leading Partick Thistle by a 0-0, and Hibernian and Wraith Rovers is goalless. Celtic away at Kilmarnock kicks off at 3 o'clock in the Scottish League Cup. Onana trying to feed it through the lines, feed it in behind again, but Villa cut it out. Patterson wins it off Watkins. Watkins battling to win it back, but Onana will pick up for Everton. Still a bit of this first half to go. 7 of the 9 additional to remain. Garner. Patterson with a cross. Far too much pace on that one from Nathan Patterson. It was a nice idea, nice move, but the delivery, the execution, was far too much pace on it from Nathan Patterson. Far, far too much. They've had a few decent spells. Everton a few decent moves, but nothing of great quality so far in the first half from Sean Dyche's team. Here's Pau Torres. Konsa de Cash. Martinez. Dyche. McGinn forward, finds Ollie Watkins. Watkins runs off Michael Keane. Referee has given the free kick and a yellow card to Michael Keane for that challenge on Ollie Watkins. Watkins just picks up the ball and protecting it, and then Michael Keane tries to recover it, pulls back Ollie Watkins and is booked for that challenge. So free kick to Aston Villa. Just inside the Everton half. Four of the 9 minutes of additional time gone. This Villa free kick finds its way out to the left for Luca Dyche. Dyche up against Patterson. Dyche with a cross. Still in play, and as Jordan Pickford will gather it. That will bring to an end that chance. Pickford fires it from the back. Danjuma tries to hold up the ball, but Boubacar Kamara picks up the loose one. McGinn. Konsa. Torres. Now to Luca Dyche. Back to Pau Torres. Well, Aston Villa, their home record, 7 successive home wins at the end of last season. That will continue into this season if they can hold on for the 3 points here in the second half. That's a mad amount of home wins. That's a fantastic run of form. Villa's last home defeat was back in February when Arsenal beat them 4-2 here. Remember, Villa were leading 2-1 at one point in that game before Arsenal got 2 late goals to win it. Everton's away form is also quite good. Away from home in the last 4 games of last season, they were unbeaten. 3 draws and 1 win. They were unbeaten in all 4 of their away club friendlies in pre-season. Not that that means very much, to be fair. Their last away defeat, Everton, was back in April. Away at Manchester United, a 2-0 defeat on that day. It's Douglas Luiz. McGinn through the lines, trying to find Diaby, and luckily Everton got a body in the way. Cash keeps it alive. Bailey looking for the return ball to Cash. Cash on the edge of the box. Back to Bailey. Bailey with a cross. Just over the head of Ollie Watkins, and that will run behind for a goal kick. Just too much height in that one. Luca Digne, 6 crosses in the match, the most of any player. They're deadly crosses as well from Luca Digne. It's a real threat, those crosses from Luca Digne. Pickford with a goal kick. Headed first time by Luca Digne. Under control by Watkins. Back to Digne. And Douglas Luiz back to Pau Torres. We've 90 seconds of this first half to go. Villa 2, Everton 0. Cash. Konsa. Luiz. Now out to Matty Cash. Villa just managing this game. Managing the possession at the moment. Not wanting to give Everton an opportunity before the half, of course. As we enter the last minute of the 9 additional. And John McGinn is challenged there. It's a late challenge by the former player of Aston Villa, Idrissa Gana Gueye. It's a late challenge. McGinn just picks up the ball, and Idrissa Gueye just challenging just slightly too late. The ball was already gone, and that will get him a yellow card. So this free kick will probably be the last action of the half, surely. And it is. That is the last action of the first half, as Aston Villa have 2 very, very good chances, and they converted them into 2 very, very good goals. The first one, it's Leon Bailey down the right hand side, cut it back, and John McGinn with the side-footed finish past Pickford. The second, Pickford gave away a penalty. The challenge on Ollie Watkins, and Douglas Luiz with a fantastic penalty to put Villa 2 goals up. Half time at Villa Park. Villa 2, Everton 0.
We haven't got any time, so we'll be back with you for second half commentary. Thank you very much, Ian Dennis and Clint Morrison at Villa Park, because we've got so much on over the course of the next 15 minutes. Much more reaction to come to England's defeat to Spain in the World Cup final. So the former England international Anita Asante is going to join us. We will hear from the England captain Millie Bright, who's been speaking to Gary Flintoff as well. And we'll be back to Budapest. The World Athletics Championships ongoing. Katarina Johnson-Thompson of Great Britain could win gold in the heptathlon later today. There's only the 800 metres to go at 5 o'clock, and she leads the field. We'll also take you to Kilmarnock ahead of their game with Celtic. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff in the Scottish League Cup. Leeds Warrington in Super League as well gets underway at 3. So lots to do, including our first trip of the day to the London Stadium ahead of West Ham Chelsea in full at 4:30. We'll do it all after the news with Joe Critcher.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
England's captain Millie Bright is promising the Lionesses will bounce back after they were defeated 1-0 by Spain in the final of the FIFA Women's World Cup. She says they're hugely disappointed, but when the hurt has died down, they'll be proud to have finished second. A senior Conservative MP is joining calls for the independent inquiry into Lucy Letby to be led by a judge. The nurse was convicted on Friday of murdering 7 babies and attempting to kill another 6 at the Countess of Chester Hospital. Steve Brine says the inquiry needs to have the power to compel witnesses to give evidence. Russia's first moon mission in almost 50 years has failed. Its Luna 25 spacecraft spun out of control and splashed into the moon. It was set to explore a part of the moon which scientists think could hold frozen water and precious elements. And Waitrose and John Lewis are offering free hot drinks to on-duty police officers in a bid to deter shoplifters, but they have to bring a reusable cup. It comes as shops report rising levels of retail crime.
Time for the game to start.
Come on!
Summer just got even better with BBC iPlayer.
So what should I do then?
Join Blue Lights for all the drama.
At least try to act like police officers. Don't think I won't fail all 3 of you if I have to.
Go behind bars with Man Like Mobeen.
Turns out someone can leave their cell.
Okay, yeah.
And follow the mind games with the Traitors Australia.
Everyone is so suspicious of everyone.
I think it's you.
Watch on BBC iPlayer.
This is 5 Live Sports with Steve Crossman.
On 5 Live. Listen on BBC Sounds.
At half-time at Villa Park, it is Aston Villa 2, Everton 0. Full second-half commentary on the way. The big story of the day, of course, England beaten 1-0 in the final of the Women's World Cup by Spain. Captain Olga Carmona scoring the only goal of the final. Millie Bright on the way. But let's hear first from the player of the tournament, Spain's Aitana Bonmati.
For this moment, it's unbelievable. I'm so proud because we did a great tournament. We suffered, but also we enjoy it. And we deserve it. We deserve it.
How did this team come together so well, given last 2 years, controversy, worry, but tonight, perfect?
Everyone knew the goal at the beginning of the preparation of the tournament. Everyone is competitive. Everyone has a high mentally, a strong mentally to win. We have been working a lot of years for this moment, and we have it. We have the trophy.
There were marked scenes at the end of the game as well, where Spain's players celebrated, at least initially, completely separately from the coaching staff. Lots of Spain players have been very unhappy with the Spanish setup and with the coach Jorge Vilda, and there have been allegations made by Spanish players against him when it comes to the behaviour around the team. Lots of players didn't even want to be involved in the World Cup. 15 of them said they would stay at home, and most of them did. So there is certainly a lot more to come on that story. The Spanish FA, by the way, tweeted Vilda in. Jorge Vilda, the Spanish coach who many people have wanted out. Great effort from England across the course of the tournament, even though, of course, they lost in the final. Here's their captain, Millie Bright.
First half, I think they were definitely on top. Second half, I think we came out and left everything out there. We played more like ourselves, more high tempo, more duels won, more aggression. First half, we were just that couple of yards off them, and then they just gained momentum, had the chance, but equally we had ours, hitting the crossbar, creating good chances that, in other games we've been putting in the back of the net. So in football, that's the difference, and especially in finals against top teams, you get limited chances, you have to be ruthless, but, today just weren't our day, and congrats to Spain.
So it was a team game, but today in Mary Earps there was an outstanding performer. She kept you in the game. I mean, did you believe that penalty save was going to give you the momentum to find the equaliser?
Yeah, I think we always believe. I think, we've been in this position before where we've conceded and we've brought it back, and I think as a group we're very good at staying on task and keeping the belief. I think the inner belief throughout this tournament has been phenomenal, and that's been a key part of us and our character and our spirit. But Mary's been incredible. There's no wonder she won the Golden Glove. She's been outstanding the whole tournament, so credit to Merps. But I think as a team, I think we can hold our heads high. We've literally left everything out there, and we've gave everything to this tournament.
Millie Bright there with Gary Flintoff. Let's bring in the former England international, Anita Asante. Anita, it'll be no consolation, but in the end, are there no complaints? Did the better team win?
Yeah, I think, we saw that the better side won in the end. And it's fine margins, obviously, in a final that's so finely matched like that. But England just weren't at the races in the first half. And, despite creating some good chances, I think Spain obviously dominated possession, and it was just a bit too much in the end.
I've seen a few people on social media saying they feel a little less heartbroken today than they did after the semi-final in 2019 when England fought so hard and lost to the USA. Is that how you feel or not?
No, I do feel like that, actually, because I think we saw the momentum from the Euros. They've gone again to another final, consecutively. They've set the building blocks, and I think we're set for a golden era for women and girls football to come, and that's largely because of the investment from the National Lottery as well over the past 10 years that's created an environment for this level of success. And they will go on again, to do that. I think they will reach many more finals in the future, but unfortunately today just wasn't their day.
I just outlined everything that's been going on behind the scenes with this Spanish team. It is remarkable that the players have been able to do this, even amongst all of the controversy and all of the fallout between them and the coaching staff.
Yeah, well, it just shows, I think, the quality within that Spanish team and the squad as a whole. They were able to not, 3 world-class players weren't part of that squad, and they still managed to perform throughout it and reach a final, win the final. They've got an absolute incredible pipeline of talent, and obviously the mentality and resilience to do that as well is pretty incredible.
And you talked about the bright future. Obviously, so much was achieved by this England team winning the Euros. Will there be further achievements from getting to the final of a World Cup, even though they couldn't quite get over the line?
Absolutely. I think now they've been there, they've experienced it. We've always talked about how they've inspired the nation. They've done that again. I think the future is bright for our sport. And I think, like I said before, we are going to embark on another golden era for the women's game. And that's thanks to them and the way they've performed over the last, few years, winning a final, getting to the final again. And again, investment at the grassroots level, is going to create even more opportunities and access because of the investment from the National Lottery and the FA. They'll be able to keep inspiring, girls and boys across the nation for years to come.
Anita, thank you so much. Anita Asante, former England international, with us there. There'll be lots more to come on that as well. Let's bring in our correspondent, John Murray. John, before we talk about the game that you're about to commentate on at 4:30, you were listening to the World Cup final, of course, on 5 Live?
Yeah, well, I was, yes. I've had a bit of a circuitous route today, so I watched a bit, listened to a bit. I was actually walking along the street in Stratford, listened to it on my phone via BBC Sound, so I actually did what I keep telling people to do on the radio every week.
You can also rewind back, but not now. Not now. We've got things.
It was. It just had. I don't know about you, and whether I'm sure the same sort of thing has been said, but it just had the feeling in the first half that it was going to be Spain's day. That's the kind of feeling I had.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of people feel like that. It's difficult to know what to feel about this Chelsea team, though, isn't it, so far this season? Because yet again, more ins.
Yeah, more ins, which takes it. If you remember, this time last week we were talking about how they'd almost got to 50 deals. Do you remember? Since the Clear Lake Capital Consortium took over just over a year ago. Well, obviously they're past that now, so they've gone past 50 deals. And obviously the expectation is that Caicedo, as the man who set the record for the transfer fee involving British clubs, will come into the team. So it'll be really interesting to see how he fits in, how he looks, because he's obviously had a time, hasn't he, over the course of the past couple of weeks or so. And it'll probably be a relief for him to get onto the field. So we'll see how Chelsea look. I thought it was it had that feel, both Chelsea and Liverpool last Sunday, of early days. And so they'll change again today to an extent anyway.
You get the impression that Chelsea aren't done yet either, and neither are West Ham.
No, West Ham similarly, who will start for them in the midfield now that Alvarez is here and has got his feet under the table, but of course Ward-Prowse as well, after they drew 1-1 at Bournemouth in the opening match. Expectation is that James Ward-Prowse, who barely missed a match for Southampton, would come into the midfield.
Thank you, John. That's correspondent John Murray at the London Stadium. He'll be alongside Paul Robinson for full commentary of West Ham versus Chelsea at 4:30. Don't forget Villa 2, Everton 0 half-time at Villa Park. We'll be back there shortly for second half commentary. And as we keep telling you, we could have a gold medal for Great Britain on day 2 of the World Athletics Championships today. Katarina Johnson-Thompson leads the heptathlon going into the final event, which is the 800 metres. And Catherine Merry has the details.
Welcome back to Aston Villa against Everton. The second half is a couple of moments away. Let's just remind you of the Premier League results so far this weekend. Nottingham Forest opened us up on Friday night with a 2-1 win over Sheffield United. Brentford won London Derby away at Craven Cottage by 3-0. 10-man Liverpool beat Bournemouth by 3-1 to get their first 3 points of the season. Wolves were beaten quite convincingly at home by Brighton, their second successive win. Brighton by 4-1 at Molineux. Tottenham beat Manchester United at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium by 2-0. And Manchester City, 2 wins from 2, beating Eddie Howe's Newcastle by 1-0 at the Etihad last night. The second half at Villa Park is just a moment away, and it is 2-0 to Aston Villa, with the players just coming back out, and Everton are going to make a change at half-time. It's Idrissa Gueye that is going to make way, and Lewis Dobbin is going to be his replacement. And Lewis Dobbin, born in 2003, 20 years of age. Lewis Dobbin, number 61 for Everton, so Sean Dyche has made an alteration at the break. Everton have already made a sub in that first half. Dominic Calvert-Lewin coming off injured. Arnott Danjuma, his replacement in the first half. So Everton have already made 2 changes. Interesting to see what Dobbin can do for Everton in this second half. As we're just awaiting the referee's whistle to get back underway. 22 players on the pitch, waiting to get it started. And the whistle goes from Anthony Taylor, and the second half is underway at Villa Park, with Villa in a very commanding position with a 2-goal lead. Everton will look to have a positive start, and here is Dobbin. Dobbin gets past Cash. Dobbin at the byline, cuts it back. Still alive for Garner. Is there a deflection or something in there? The flag is up though. I think it was against Dobbin. It might have run across the line. Lewis Dobbin. Yeah, the ball run right across the line. It was behind. So goal kick to Villa. So Villa have this goal kick then. Their first opportunity to get possession of the ball. But Everton, they just really didn't offer very much in that first half. They had just the one shot on target, and that only came in the 46th minute of the game. So, until added time in the first half, they were very, very poor. Sean Dyche will be hoping that something different is created from his team in this second half, because they just couldn't keep the possession in the opposition half. They had very little of it, to be fair, 34% of the ball in that first half, but even when they did have it, Everton, they just didn't look threatening. Villa just looked comfortable in defending the team, and that's the issue at the moment. They didn't have much of a threat in that first half, and I'm sure Sean Dyche will be hoping that changes as Diaby's ball through the middle is cut out by Ashley Young. King. And the ball fired up the pitch. And the flag goes up against one of the Everton players there, so that will be a free kick to Villa. Douglas Luiz scored from the penalty spot, and what a penalty it was in that first half from Douglas Luiz to make it 2-0 to Villa. It was a really, really good penalty. Luca Digne. And I was surprised at Douglas Luiz taking the penalties, because it's usually Ollie Watkins, and that's what I thought. Whenever the camera went to Ollie Watkins, I thought, oh, Ollie Watkins is going to take this. He usually does. But it was Douglas Luiz, and I mean, he's shown why he took the penalty, because it was a perfect finish. Once again, that's another ball by Everton that's wayward. Gone out for a Villa throw, but there's an issue here for Alex Iwobi. He's just gone down on the pitch. He will get treatment here. So this is another big concern for Sean Dyche after losing Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the first half. Then making that change at half time. He might have to make a second injury substitution here with Alex Iwobi. Just as he was sprinting, he seemingly pulled up. Could be a hamstring issue. That could be the problem here for Alex Iwobi. Sean Dyche just having a chat with his backroom staff. Just trying to figure out what they're going to do here if Alex Iwobi cannot continue. Well, Iwobi is up and slightly limping, but I don't know if that will be him coming off or will he stay on. He is going to come off, I think, because Sean Dyche has just called Neil Maupay back. So that looks like that is Alex Iwobi's day done, as Villa have the possession then. So Villa are at Everton at the moment, down to 10 on the pitch. It's back to Ashley Young. Doucouré. Onana. Intercepted by Douglas Luiz. Lovely football by Villa. Here's McGinn. McGinn to Diaby. Diaby back into the middle. Kamara. Kamara with a strike and deflected off James Tarkowski. Wide for the corner. Better from Villa. Really, really good in attack. They look so comfortable on the ball. They don't look like Everton are laying a glove on them at the moment. So confident, and that's a decent strike by Boubacar Kamara. Well, Everton make another change. That was Alex Iwobi going off. Neil Maupay is now on, so they're back to 11 players on the pitch now, Everton. And Douglas Luiz to take this corner. Takes it short again. Luca Digne. Back across to McGinn. John McGinn. Out wide to Luca Digne again. Digne with a cross. Headed away by Tarkowski. And that will bounce out for a Villa throw on the left-hand side. Digne. Quick throw in. It's bounced all the way through. And it's Leon Bailey for Villa. It's terribly defended from Everton. And that's the third goal from Aston Villa. Straight from the throw in. Luca Digne took it quick. It caught out all the Everton players. Couldn't defend it. Couldn't get bodies in the way quick enough. And Leon Bailey there to just slot it past Jordan Pickford and surely wrap up the game for Aston Villa now. All over the place at the back, Everton. They can't get the ball away. Michael Keane tries to. It bounces to Leon Bailey, and Bailey with a right-footed finish underneath Jordan Pickford, and to make it 3-0 Villa. Lovely from Leon Bailey. Fantastic. And Aston Villa surely got the 3 points now. It's just a formality. 3-0. And that's exactly what Sean Dyche was looking to avoid. And the start of the second half, it's not been the best start to the half for Everton. Losing Alex Iwobi and then conceding straight afterwards. But that's how threatening Villa have been. How dominant and control they've been the whole way through the game, Aston Villa. Here's Danjuma, trying to give Everton any sort of belief and hope. Onana brought down there, but the referee said play advantage. As Danjuma takes the strike, it's a bit of a deflection, and that will go out for the corner. Well, the Everton fans say they've had enough, and they're going to head back to Merseyside, but 3-0 down. Quite dismal, that. 4 goals conceded this season, yet to score in the new season, Everton. Corner from the left-hand side from Garner. It's brought in and bounced over the bar. Contact in there from James Tarkowski, and that is a goal kick. Well, Villa dominated the possession. Still have dominating the possession. 67% possession they've had in this game, Villa. 9 shots, 5 on target. Everton still only that 1 shot on target. And Everton just need to, it's damage limitations for them now. Just make sure it doesn't get any worse, and it might become an embarrassing result. Just hold out at 3-0 for as long as possible. Konsa down the line, all the way out of play there from Ezri Konsa. And that'll be a throw in to Everton. Well, it's much better this week from Unai Emery's side. They looked so vulnerable against Newcastle last week. The back line was just far too high. Defensively they looked frail at best, and today they've looked quite solid defensively. Although, to be fair, Everton haven't been the best attack to try and defend against. They haven't been the most difficult of attacks to defend. I mean, this is the perfect response from Villa to that big defeat last week. You can lose a game, but let's just make sure that it's no more than that. That they move on and get back to winning ways. Get off the mark for the new season. And these two teams both starting with defeats in their new season, and we're looking to get back on course. Well, Villa have European football action during the week. In 3 days' time, they're away at Hibs in the Europa Conference League playoff before they travel to Burnley next Sunday at 2 o'clock. Here's nice football again from Villa. It's Watkins. It's taken out there in the box, dealt with by Everton. Everton, their next game is away at home to Wolves, who've just been destroyed yesterday by Brighton. Wolves looking to avoid a 3rd successive defeat. Everton will also be looking to avoid a 3rd successive defeat in that game. Sets up a nice storyline for that one. Here's Diaby, feeds it through for Watkins. Watkins gets there, but just drags it wide. Pickford was coming for it. Watkins got there ahead of him and tried to slot it past him into an empty net. It's a lovely idea from Moussa Diaby again. Beautifully weighted pass for Ollie Watkins, and Watkins with the right foot just tries to get the contact to it. Not much power behind it, and tried to roll it into the net, but it ended up rolling wide of that left post and wide for a goal kick. Well, you won't believe it. Jordan Pickford was having a bit of a struggle there. It seemed okay in the end, but would have been awful if Everton had to lose him. That really would put a massive dampener on their day. Well, they've already lost two crucial players to their side, and Alex Iwobi and Dominic Calvert-Lewin through injury. They won't want to lose anyone else. Here's Onana. Right to the left, that's far too much on it. And Danjuma was free on the left-hand side, but Onana couldn't find the ball to him. That went out for an Aston Villa throw. That just sums up Everton's day. They've just not had the... never found the right pass. They just haven't been able to work against Villa and win the ball. Villa are always there. They've always got bodies in the way, and they've just won it back again, Villa. They just look so good at winning the ball back. Everton just can't keep it for long enough to try and threaten them. Here's Pau Torres. Diaby. Kamara. Torres. Tried to force it through to Watkins, but that would run all the way through to Jordan Pickford. Well, this will be Villa's 5th successive win against Everton. The last 4 occasions, a 2-0, 2-1, 1-0 and 3-0. And the last time that Everton got anything out of this fixture was a draw here at Villa Park back in May 2021 in a 0-0 draw. Here's Anut Danjuma down the left-hand side. Up against Cash. Takes on Cash. Danjuma with a cross. It's fired in. Strike from Patterson from distance, and it deflects off a Villa player and out for the corner. As Danjuma just burst a pace past Cash, fires it right across goal, evades all the Everton players in there, and then Patterson just running onto the ball, takes the strike at it on the edge, hits off a Villa player and goes wide for the corner, of which the former Villa player Ashley Young will take. Right-footed, whipped in, over the head, and Neil Maupay was denied twice by Emi Martinez. Massive goalkeeping. Evaded Dobbin and Felton Maupay at the back post. The cross whipped in, as you can see it again. Whipped in, far away from anyone else in there. It falls to Neil Maupay at the back post. Takes the strike at it. Blocked by Martinez, and then it's fell again to Maupay at a tighter angle and straight at Martinez again. Very good goalkeeping. It's a nice idea, a nice set piece from Everton, but they couldn't find the finish. Really good goalkeeping from Emi Martinez. That's the long ball from Torres, targeting Watkins. First header won by Tarkowski. John McGinn brings it down the second time. Onana challenges, but it will run for a Villa throw. 60 minutes gone. Villa 3, Everton 0. Villa readying some changes on the sidelines as they win another corner off Nathan Patterson. They might make a triple change, it seems, here, Villa. I'm trying to figure it out. I can see one is Philip Coutinho. Yuri Tielemans is the other, and the third substitute is Diego Carlos. So a triple change to come for Villa. Not just yet, though, as they are ready to take this corner for Douglas Luiz on the left-hand side. Take it short again. Dyche. Luiz. Now McGinn Feeds it into the box. Bailey's in again, goes down. Nothing in that. Tarkovsky gets it away. Knight. Dobbin gives it away. McGinn down that left-hand side. Still down in the box is Bailey. And the challenge there from the Everton 20-year-old Lewis or Dobbin. And that will go out for a corner. See this again. It's McGinn. Finds it through to Bailey. Bailey getting the ball is not a challenge, and it's not a foul. It's a good challenge by James Tarkovsky on Leon Bailey. Does catch his foot, but there's nothing really in that for me. And Bailey's just getting a bit of treatment at the moment. Villa waiting to take another corner, of which they've already had 6. I think there was a quick VAR check at it, but they always have a check at those types of things, just in case. But nothing doing from the VAR. Leon Bailey still wincing in a bit of pain, but he should be fine to continue in a moment. Might allow Villa the time to make the changes, maybe. Just seeing that replay of the opportunity from the corner. Yeah, it's not a foul. They're going to make those triple changes then, Villa. So it is Leon Bailey that is going to be one of the substitutions. He will be taken off, and replacing him will be another new signing, signed on a free from free contract. Was at Leicester City last season. Joined on a free Yuri Tielemans, and Moussa Diaby and Douglas Luiz, the other 2 changes, and will be replaced by Diego Carlos and Philippe Coutinho. So a triple change there from Villa. Just, of course, because of that European game, they're trying to keep all their players fresh. And it'll be interesting to see how they deal with Europe this season, Villa. Well, if they get through the playoff round, that is, obviously. They'll be hoping that they do get past Hibs, the Scottish Premiership side, on Wednesday evening in that Conference League playoff round. Right, Villa have a corner then on the left-hand side. Dyche to take, whips it in, headed away by Keane. Cash wins it back, keeps it alive. First involvement for Yuri Tielemans is to switch the ball, but and run it out of play for a Everton throw-in. We're going to get team news from the London Stadium as that 4:30 kickoff between West Ham and Chelsea in a few moments when that is confirmed to us. You can also watch that one live here in LFS, live commentary, 4:30 this afternoon. That kicks off. What a game that is to look forward to. Chelsea and West Ham, fresh off 1-1 draws with Liverpool and Bournemouth respectively. Liverpool and Bournemouth who played each other yesterday. Liverpool coming out the victors in that one by 3-1 in that game. Just trying to get that team news as Villa have a throw-in on the left-hand side. 25 minutes to go, plus any additional time. Villa sitting comfortably at the moment, not under any real threat from Everton. McGinn on the right hand side has Cash running ahead of him. Again, not taking that option and just recycling it in midfield. Here's Tielemans. Out to the left for Luca Digne. All the way back to Carlos. Concept to Cash. Concept. Carlos to Torres. Lovely from Watkins. Leaves it for Coutinho. Saved by Jordan Pickford. We do have the team news from the London Stadium then. So West Ham lineup is as follows: Alphonse Areola in goal, Vladimir Sofal, Kurt Zuma, Naif Aguer and Emerson Palmieri in a back four. Thomas Soucek and James Ward-Prowse in midfield. James Ward-Prowse, of course, making his debut after signing from Southampton. Lucas Paquetá, who's been linked with a move away to Manchester City, is in the side this afternoon as Jared Bowen, Said Benrahma and Mikel Antonio make up the attacking line for West Ham. For the visiting Chelsea, Robert Sanchez in goal, Malo Gusto, Axel Disasi, Thiago Silva, Levi Colwill and Ben Chilwell in a back five. Ben Chilwell, of course, has the captain's armband as the club captain. Reece James is out injured. Enzo Fernandez and Conor Gallagher in midfield with a front three of Carney Chukwuemeka, Raheem Sterling and Nicholas Jackson. New signings for Chelsea. A new signing, Moises Caicedo, is on the bench for Chelsea this afternoon, as well as West Ham's new signing Edson Alvarez as well. He's also on the bench for them. Kick-off in that one is around about 55 minutes away. So 68 minutes played in this one. Villa 3 goals to the good. Goals by McGinn, Luis and Bailey. Just seeing pictures of Nicolo Zaniolo, who's joined from Galatasaray to Aston Villa. He's in the stands this afternoon, wasn't registered in time to be involved in this game. He just signed on Friday. This Torres down the left hand side to Digne. Coutinho. Tielemans. Coutinho. Now Boubacar Kamara. Out to Konsa. Konsa goes back to his keeper Martinez. Torres. Konsa. Tielemans finds it to Coutinho. Coutinho gets it to Watkins. Heavy touch by Ollie Watkins. Latched on by Patterson to clear it away for Everton. It's Route 1 football straight through the middle from Aston Villa. It's Doucouré. Mopé for Everton. Looking for the switch ball. Patterson chests it down on the right hand side. Garner battling with Tielemans. Picked up on that right hand side by Dobbin. As Everton continue in possession here with Ashley Young. Doucouré. Patterson. Now Dobbin on the right hand side with the cross. Cleared away by Torres. Watkins can try and get them on the counter attack. He's kept it in here, Ollie Watkins. McGinn's making the run through the middle. Watkins blocked off there by King. And that's good defending by Michael Keane there for Everton. Doucouré. Onana. Doucouré. To Patterson. Nice link up from Everton. Mopay gets it to Doucouré. Now Garner. Double on the right hand side. Just about gets past Dyche, but couldn't get past Tielemans as Villa recover. Coutinho tries to play it through. Onana is fouled there by Luca Dyche, and that'll be a free kick to Everton. The poll in the chat, Aston Villa with the massive result there. I think I'm going to close that poll because we know what the result is going to be. 75% predicting an Aston Villa win, and we are around about just under 20 minutes away from that being the case at the moment. Everton with this free kick then inside the Villa half. It is James Garner that's over it. Garner with the fizz ball in. Headed away first time by Villa. That's lovely from Watkins to find Coutinho. Trying to go on the break and Coutinho taken out, but McGinn keeps it alive. Switches the ball, gets it to Konsa. Konsa with a heavy touch. And retreating there was Danjuma to help out at the back for Everton. Gets it to Young and Everton can carry it away, but that was a lovely counter-attacking move from Villa. Coutinho and Watkins linking up, and then McGinn picking up the pieces and switching it for Konsa. It seems to be the game plan for the moment for Villa. Just allowing Everton to have the ball now and hitting them on the counter-attack. They've brought on that extra solidity in the middle with Diego Carlos. That's Kamara wins it back, but no one's making it a run, and his ball is picked up comfortably by Patterson. And then Patterson's ball down the line will run straight through for a goal kick. Comes to nothing, that. Villa making another change. It will be Ollie Watkins that's going to make way. And Watkins being replaced by John Duran. So Duran on, Watkins off. And that's Villa's fourth substitution. Martinez. Torres. Switch ball looking for Cash, but that ball will evade all the players in there and will run for a throw in. Everton have a indifferent run of form. Oh, they've given it away at the back here. Here's Duran with his first touch. And John Duran with his first touch of the game puts Villa 4-0 up. Everton shambolic at the back. Gifted it from Michael Keane to give it to John Duran. And Duran to find the net past Jordan Pickford. Villa 4, Everton 0. And this is turning into a bit of an embarrassing result for Everton. It's so poor. It's Michael Keane. It's a poor ball back to Michael Keane. Keane can't get there. Duran latches onto it straight from the throw-in. It's just so poor from Everton. They just ridiculously easy. Duran doesn't even need to press or to put pressure on the Everton defender. Just needs to run, chase the ball, and gets the touch on it. Left-footed, slotted finish. Beautiful from John Duran. And that's perfect for Unai Emery. And just as he comes on, he puts it in the net to make it 4-0 to Villa. Well, it's his first Premier League goal and his first goal for Aston Villa. But the fact that it came straight from a throw-in from Everton is ridiculously poor. So poor. I mean, they're causing their own problems now. Villa were causing them all sorts of problems for the first 3 goals, and now they're gifting them goals. Here's Danjuma to try and decrease that deficit, but that's strong defending by Ezri Konsa. Here's Matty Cash holding the ball up for Villa. Well, the last time there was 4 goals scored by one team in this fixture was back with Everton, who beat Villa by 4 goals to 0 back in 2015. Villa haven't scored 4 against Everton since 2005 in a Boxing Day win against Everton by 4 goals to 0 on that day. That was the last time Villa scored 4 against Everton in the Premier League. They've only done it twice before. In 2005 and at Goodison Park in 1998. Since then it's only been 3 that Villa have been able to conjure up against Everton, but it's 4 today for only the 3rd time in Premier League history that Villa have scored 4 against Everton. Well, not the start that Sean Dyche would have wanted to his season. 2 defeats and 5 goals conceded and not a single goal scored. I always knew it was going to be difficult, starting against Fulham and Aston Villa. And that narrow defeat to Fulham last week, they thought there was promise. But coming to Villa Park is no easy feat. Not easy for any team. But they've just been limp today, Everton. Just been awful. Ball into the box, and Villa are trying to go for more here. They're not finished. Here's Konsa. They're wanting more goals. That's what we like to see. Coutinho. Out to the left for Dyche. Goes back to Philippe Coutinho. Well, Villa have quite a few games to come. Quite a tight schedule to come. They play away to Hibs in midweek. Burnley away next weekend before they bring Hibs back here for the second leg the following week. And then they go to Anfield on the 3rd of September. And that is their run to the international break. The next time they're here in a Premier League game is on the 16th of September against Crystal Palace. Here's Danjuma. Villa will cover it well as Ale surrounds every single part of this stadium at Villa Park. The home fans jubilant. Their first home game of the season looks to be a romping victory over a very, very poor Everton team. Here's Coutinho. Speeds past Garner. Coutinho down the left-hand side. Is Duran. Back to Coutinho. Lovely feet from Coutinho, who goes from goal, but it's well over the bar there from Philippe Coutinho. Hasn't lost that skill. Those are the type of strikes you only see when teams are with this massive amount of a lead. Philippe Coutinho, of course, 31. Former Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Liverpool and Inter Milan player. No shortage of big clubs in there, is there? Villa one of them as well. That's Cash that's brought down there by Doucouré, so Villa will get the free kick. Well, I predicted Everton to be in a relegation battle this season. I think I'm being proved right to that point. Yes, it's still early doors. They've only played 2 games and we've seen teams have worse starts to the season than this and end up not anywhere near the relegation fight. But it's not about the results for Everton, it's the lack of performance that will concern the Everton fans, will concern the Everton manager Sean Dyche. Although it's still early. Here's the strike from Danjuma that goes just wide. Maybe it would have been a consolation. think it might have been a deflection in there. Save, maybe. Or a deflection. Yeah, it was a deflection of Diego Carlos. So it will be a corner to Everton on the right-hand side. 9 minutes plus additional time to go. Villa 4, Everton 0. Everton have a chance to whip a ball in. They do whip it in. Headed away by Carlos. Brought down by Dobbin. Dobbin with a cross. It's all the way through to Emi Martinez again. Some updates from around the grounds. It's still 2-0 to Union Berlin, and that game in the Bundesliga against Mainz at the moment in the second half there. In the Scottish League Cup, we're coming to the final minutes of 2 of those fixtures as Hearts are easing past Partick Thistle 4-0, and Hibs just edging Wraith Rovers by 2-1. And Celtic and Kilmarnock is goalless at half time. We'll get further updates from that Celtic match in our next live game at 4:30. Philippe Coutinho looks to be in a bit of bother here. He's gone down a bit strangely, holding his leg. Looks to be around his hamstring. It might be an issue. Yeah, he pulls up. He pulls up after that challenge from James Garner. He's in a right amount of pain here. He's calling the medical team over as John McGinn, so this doesn't look good for Philippe Coutinho. Sean Dyche having crisis talks with his team in the sidelines there. I think it's a bit late for crisis talks, isn't it? I mean, when your side concede a goal from their own throw-in, you know, that has to be dreadfully poor. That explains exactly how poor they have been all afternoon. Philippe Coutinho still in a mass amount of pain here. He's getting the treatment from the medical staff. But the questions will be for Everton, you know, going into that next game against Wolves. It's a must-win game at home against Wolves. With the way Everton have started the season, it doesn't look good for them to start the season the way they have. But the fact that they were so close to relegation in the last couple of seasons, they don't want this to be a similar sight this season of relegation or a relegation battle. They'll want to try and escape that, but the way they've started this season just shows that they're not much better than they have been in previous seasons. They're still as bad as they've ever been, but they're going to make another change here, Villa. Their last change. Philippe Coutinho still receiving quite a bit of treatment, and it will be a young player. It looks like it might be Cameron Archer, I think it might be Cameron Archer that's coming on for Villa. It is, and Philippe Coutinho is having to be helped off to the sidelines here, so this is not a good sight for him or for Villa. And it looks to be another very serious injury. It's not one that they'll be welcoming, obviously. Philippe Coutinho having to be helped in walking, so very serious indeed. The Brazilian leaves the pitch, and Cameron Archer is on as his replacement then. And Coutinho, who only came onto the pitch around about 20 minutes ago. He's kind of not really walking. He's being held up by the two medical staff. Yeah, difficult that. Last 5 minutes then of the game plus additional time, and there's no doubt about where the points are going. That's a poor challenge from Nathan Patterson. Bit of frustration there from the Everton right back in that challenge, just totally unnecessary. That challenge on Luca Digne. Yeah, it's a cynical one. There's no need for that. Free kick Villa. Completely unnecessary from Patterson. He's booked by referee Anthony Taylor. Aston Villa have the ball on the left-hand side here then. That's nicely won back by Dobbin. It's cleared away. There's a free kick in there for Everton. Just seeing pictures of Philippe Coutinho again. Still having to be carried off. He stopped here. They still aren't able to move him. They might need a stretcher or some sort here. Yeah. Does not look good at all for Philippe Coutinho. Tarkowski with a switch ball. Headed away by Dyche. McGinn down the left. Blocked over by Patterson, and Tarkowski brings it back to his goalkeeper. Pickford. Ashley Young. Tarkowski. Keane. To Patterson. Just passing it around for Everton at the moment. Trying to run down the clock. Danjuma. Nice link up with Doucouré. Danjuma blocked off by Konsa there. It's good defending by Konsa. It's been quite solid today. And that's a shove on Matty Cash by Doucouré, so that'll be a free kick to Villa. 2.5 minutes plus additional time to go. Villa romping home with the 3 points here to open their new season at Villa Park against a very, very dismal looking Everton. And don't forget we've more football. West Ham against Chelsea kicks off in around about 35 minutes time. We'll have that one live, plus our Premier League weekend. The second week of the Premier League concludes with a London derby as well, as Crystal Palace host Arsenal on Monday night. That's Monday at 8 o'clock, by the way. Here's Diego Carlos. Cash. Given away by Cameron Archer. Danjuma picks it up. Archer trying to win it back, but Danjuma fouled and Archer booked. So free kick to Everton. So the Aston Villa substitute is being yellow carded here. Cameron Archer. I think we're going to see a record number of yellow cards this season. There's quite a lot of them already given out this campaign. We've only had 2 match weeks. Here's Danjuma. Onana. Beaten off the ball by Kamara. And Tielemans. That's nice feet by Yuri Tielemans. Now McGinn. Dyche. Duran gets it back in field to Tielemans. That's lovely football by Villa. Here's Kamara. Can they make it 5? They can't get that high up though. Luca Dyche can't gather it. He tries to win the loose ball, but Nathan Patterson is there. Garner. Garner to Dobbin. And that ball's out of play. And that will be a Everton throw-in. Last 10 seconds of the half. Good afternoon, Brian. Welcome into the chat. I hope you can join us for the next game, West Ham against Chelsea. And we will have another 9-minute period of extra time. So 9 additional minutes at the end of the half, as there was in the first half. There will be 9 extra at the end of the second half. There's a lot of injuries in this game. 4 injuries. We've had 2 for each team. Leon Bailey and Philippe Coutinho for Villa, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Alex Iwobi for Everton. But I would say Everton's injuries are probably more significant than Villa's, with 2 massively important players for Everton in Calvert-Lewin and Iwobi. Not saying that Coutinho or Bailey aren't massive players for Villa. I just say that Calvert-Lewin and Iwobi are massive for Everton. But there's only one man that can win player of the match today. And there's There's no doubt. You can't argue it. It's the Villa captain, John McGinn. Sensational performance today. He has been heavily involved in nearly all of Villa's promising play today. You know, was set up for the first goal. Heavily involved in the penalty decision and helping with that. And then heavily involved with Leon Bailey's one as well. Really, really good today. John McGinn. 3 solo goals by Villa today. Well, 2 open play solo goals. Leon Bailey and John Duran. The only assist of the afternoon goes to Leon Bailey for that John McGinn goal. Everton have a corner then from somewhere. Villa must have messed about at the back or something. Well, the corner on the left-hand side whipped in, headed away by Torres, and Diego Carlos is there to help out and puts that out for an Everton throw-in on the right-hand side. Onana to Patterson, back to Amadou Onana. Nice football from Everton, but it's 4 goals too late. And Kamara has, I think, has committed a foul there, so that'll be a free kick to Everton. Chance for them to whip another ball into that Villa box. Probably Everton's best spell of the game, this. But as I was saying, too little too late. They're 4 goals down. Well, a clean sheet would be perfect for Villa. I don't want to give that away. The free kick's whipped in and it's straight into the hands of Emi Martinez. Goalkeeper's been very solid for Villa today. Not had the massive amounts to do. Made just 2 saves, but he's had massive amount of touches. 45 touches. 91% passing accuracy for the Villa goalkeeper. Villa, their deficit from last week is totally wiped out with this 4-0 win. Back to a level playing field in terms of goal difference. 5 goals scored, 5 goals conceded. Everton yet to score in the league. One of just 2 teams yet to score a goal in the league this season, and one of those teams haven't played their second match yet, and that is Burnley. Everton, the only team that have played 2 matches, and are yet to score. Quite concerning, that. Danjuma. Ashley Young trying to feed it through for Doucouré, but again Villa have bodies in the way and to carry it away, and Matty Cash's ball is blocked by the referee, so it will be a drop ball as we're halfway through the 9 additional minutes at the end of this game at Villa Park. What went wrong for Everton today? You know, we look at their game away at home to Fulham last week, where they were beaten by that Bobby Decordova-Reid goal. But they had all the possession they had all the shots. 19 shots, 9 on target last week, Everton. They were the better team. They had 2.73 XG, which is a mad amount of XG to not score. They've had just 0.67 XG today, in contrast. Only 2 shots on target. Complete chalk and cheese performances, but the same result will come out of it. Defeat. Here's Doucouré. Tries to cut it across, but again Villa have bodies in the way. Carried away by Tielemans. Now Kamara. Right to the left hand side is Luca Digne. Digne looking to fire it forward for Duran, but that's cut out by Everton. Mopay trying to win the second ball, but it's cleared away. Tielemans. Duran coming deep to pick it up. Kamara. Here's Carlos. Archer. Cash. To Tielemans. And Archer trying to thread it through the lines to Duran, but Everton block that one out. Garner in the midfield for Everton. Danjuma. Now Patterson. Dobbin. Patterson. Danjuma. Some goal updates to tell you about. Union Berlin are winning by 3-1 against Mainz at the moment in that one. They've just scored that third goal in that game. It is still 0-0 between Celtic and Kilmarnock. The second half just started there. Hearts and Hibs did get through to the next round of the Scottish League Cup with their wins over Partick Thistle and Wraith Rovers respectively. And we'll have a few more European games to look forward to and to keep an eye on later as well. Brown says it's going to be a great season, a lot closer with teams. I can see Everton struggling again this year. Well, that's what I was saying. You know, if they keep these performances up, and then yeah, of course, you know, of course they had a good performance last week, but they didn't get the result out of their first home game of the season, which they would have probably been expecting to get a positive result out of that one. Ended up losing. And then coming to Villa Park is always hard. It's never easy, especially under this really good Villa team under Unai Emery. It's always going to be difficult, but the nature of the defeat is what would disappoint Everton more than the actual defeat itself. It's the fact that they've been totally outplayed in this game. From minute one, Villa have been the better team. To be fair, there's no doubt. I mean, Villa have just commanded this game, and Everton just haven't been able to lay a glove on them at all. And that'll be a worry for Sean Dyche. Yes, they've lost big players in Alex Iwobi and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who were trying to cause some issues, and the substitutions, Danjuma hasn't really done very much, and Mopay hasn't really done very much since he's come on. There's not much depth in that attack for Everton, and that's the struggle. That's the worry as the season continues, and they probably will be struggling if that continues. Full-time whistle then, and it's 3 points for Unai Emery's Villa. 3 points that were probably confirmed at half-time if you had really taken a close eye at it. There was no really any way that Everton were going to find their way back into the game. Villa made their lead even bigger in the second half and end up with a commanding 4-0 win over Everton. It seemed to be far too easy to get past Everton today. The level of the goals weren't the most complex or the most difficult to do, but the worry for Everton will be how easy they were to play against. Villa didn't even get out of second gear. And Villa with a massive victory after that horrible defeat last week to Newcastle. They are back with a fantastic 4-0 win to wrap up match day 2 in their first home game of the season. Everton, on the other hand, 2 defeats from 2. Not a good start to their season as they look to turn a corner under Sean Dyche, but the corner seems ever more further away as the weeks continue. They play Wolves next week. Villa have European football to come. We'll see how both teams do over the next couple of weeks. Full-time score from Villa Park. It's Aston Villa 4, Everton 0.